ladies.
Well, hey, True Believers England team here. We're going to be doing some cover rankings again tonight. Now, everybody, or not everybody, we've got three of us here. We're going to hang out for a little bit, and we're waiting for the Geeky Puppet shows to. Gosh darn it! I just noticed my bird tagged me, not once but twice. But yeah, we're going to be. It's good when I notice on camera that happened, rather than I should have done a check. Wait a second, hold on. All right, yeah, okay, I'm clear. Okay, I love him. I love him to death, but he is a bird. It happens, right? But yeah, so
that is what they do.
Yesterday was Dalton's 502nd birthday, and because we are sure that he is a vampire.
But biologically 29, temporally about 500.
There you go. We're just A-okay with his bloodletting, basically, because he is such a nice guy. Otherwise, so long as he keeps away from our families, we're okay. We're fine. That being said, it was his birthday yesterday, and we were supposed to do some Doctor Strange covers. We're just pushing it ahead a little bit, so we're going to be doing that. And I think on Sunday we're doing Vampirella, but Monday is my birthday, and I said, let's do some crazy stuff. And you guys, all the crazy stuff I mentioned was Captain Carrot and the Amazing Zoo Crew. So that's my birthday, if I'm there for it, because I am hoping me and Gail can, we'll be going out and doing something.
Get away.
Yeah, we're waiting for the Geeky Puppets. They started their show about an hour ago. They should be wrapping up pretty quick here. In the meantime, we're just going to chill out, chat, and hey, did you see Deadpool Wolverine? We'll do a little preview. I want to do an actual let's talk about it. But I know LK, you saw it, right?
Yes, I saw it yesterday afternoon.
And Dalton?
I haven't seen it yet.
That means it's not on the pirate sites yet.
Or they were, and I missed the wave. So
you missed it. You missed it so far, right?
I haven't found it anywhere where the Jolly Roger happens to be sailing. But
right.
I gotta tell you, I'm not looking in the right place.
I found it, first of all, better than the second movie.
Yes.
And I didn't hate the second movie. I actually liked the second movie, but I loved the first movie.
Yeah.
So while it was good, it was still a step down.
The second one was fine. It's just it wasn't as good as the first one.
Right. And this one I think took 2 steps up. I really, really like this movie. One thing I don't want to spoil a lot of stuff, and I really don't want to go too in depth because I want to have I gotta get that thing off my shoulder. I want to have a show where we talk about this, but this is a love letter to the geeks, to the fans, and to the 20th Century Fox movies, which I think a lot of people kind of see like you do, Dalton. They're kind of mid to, not a lot of people go, those Fantastic Four movies in the 2000s were fucking awesome. They do say they were better than anything in Marvel Phase 4 or whatever it was, but
the thing with the X-Men movies, as we were DMing back and forth the other night, and I mentioned that the X-Men movies are largely mediocre movies with Nobel Prize worthy casting. That was the phrase that I landed on, because that is the thing that they got 110, 150, 1,000% right, which was the casting the first time.
Great casting in that. I love X-Men 2. I think that's the one that everybody
that is probably the best of the bunch. Yeah,
I liked X-Men, the first X-Men. To me, it was more like there wasn't a lot of characterization to the first X-Men. It was more like, here's Cyclops, he's got eyeglass, and here's
the origin movie, so to speak. It had the origin movie problem.
But the only people that got any kind of characterization was Wolverine and Rogue, and I found that to be the biggest problem of the 20th Century Fox X-Men movies up until the X-Men. What was it? The Days of Future Past, the X-Men first one.
First Class?
Yeah, First Class, yeah. And then they started paying attention to other characters. But X-Men 1, 2, and 3 is the Wolverine story. But thankfully, they show more Wolverine when they go to the Wolverine movies. So I kind of thought that it really was wasted on just one character. Like they should have focused more, made it a team movie. Have one movie focus on different characters. All the while, Jean Grey is a subplot in the background as the Phoenix is going.
And then all of a sudden, she becomes a major thing in the last minute. Yeah. The thing with X3 is that I really like the mutant cure subplot, and I really wish they had just focused on the mutant cure subplot.
X-Men 3 was 2 movies jammed together. It should have started off with like the cure, which, okay, we have this cure, we're going to put it out there, and they're trying to stop this from coming around. And then Magneto and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants attack whatever lab has the cure. And then they realize that's not going to work. We have to bring out the Sentinels. It really should have been 2 movies. And when the Sentinels come, they kill somebody. Jean Grey does what she actually, I guess that's 3 movies. Jean Grey, or you could just do the Sentinels and then the cure, and you cure Jean Grey. You don't have to kill her; you actually cure her.
They tried Dark Phoenix twice. It has gone horribly wrong both times.
Because they think they could do it in one movie. Dark Phoenix started in X-Men 101, and it ended in, what was it, 137?
Mm-hmm. It was a long story.
Yeah, that's 26 or 36 issues worth of story there that they try to shove into. And I get it; it was subplot mostly. But even if you take subplot, you're adding on another 5 movies or 5 issues worth of comic. It should be at least 3 movies. The Phoenix Saga should be. Yeah. Jean Grey dies and revives. Jean Grey shows her powers. Jean Grey now has to be dealt with. That's the way that the Phoenix Saga should be.
Yeah. X-Men 3 was doomed from the start. If you know the backstory, that's the problem.
Yeah. And again, I really like what survived of the mutant cure subplot, if only that had been the movie.
The real question is, what does this have to do with Phoenix, Arizona?
Yes, exactly. That's what we've been. That's basically the whole basis of this conversation.
Jean Grey went back in time, and that Phoenix, Arizona turned out to be named in honor of the Phoenix who saved the tribe.
Wow, this makes so much sense.
You have to read Marvel 1602. No, I'm just kidding.
Glad we could have this moment.
That actually, unironically, would have been an interesting like Gonzo plot point for 1602 if they had tried, because like Sir Walter Raleigh and John Dee were over there scoping things out at that time, so why not?
Yeah, but no, I mean seriously, the whole problem with X-Men 3 is it was doomed from the start because you had a switch over in leadership at Fox. The new incoming president of Fox hated superhero movies and didn't want to do them, and that led to friction that got Bryan Singer to leave the project. And then you had Brett Ratner come in and just wrecked everything. And then
Brett Ratner, his one contribution to cinema is Red Dragon, and in all honesty, that's the only contribution of his that I care to remember exists.
By the way, there is, I don't know. Once again, we have to do a full freaking Deadpool Wolverine show, but there is, gosh, I want to spoil something so bad. There is a cameo that will blow your fucking mind, and it's like, thank fucking God! All right, finally. Don't get this movie spoiled. Go see it. We're gonna do our own review. I'm prepared to do it after this. I'm just jazzed up. I want to talk about this movie so much. But this movie loves the fans. Whomever, like, I don't know if it was Ryan Reynolds. I don't know, whoever grabbed the reins and said, no, fuck you. No insulting the fans like Star Wars. We're going to give them what they fucking want. There's even, and And by the way, I wouldn't doubt the F-bombs because that movie is filled with them. But you see it in the previews. Now, I will say there are scenes in the previews, because you can't see Deadpool's mouth, where they take dialogue from scene A and they put it in scene D for the preview. But so it's different. There's one scene where he goes, "Oh, you're saving the best for last, mother." Yeah.
Well, that's just maybe, but I am now going to say the thing that Kevin Feige and the MCU should have said, which is the X-Men are just going to have to wait until later, because right now we have Doctor Strange to deal with.
Yeah.
But
well, they didn't, and here we are. But I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
No, by the way,
gets dealt with. Yeah,
I'm sorry, but that joke was perfect, and I needed to do it because that is the only time I'm ever going to get to say that with a straight face.
Yeah. The other thing too is, it's a lot of fun, and this changes nothing going forward.
It actually changes a lot, because this is the best movie of Marvel's done in like
a long time.
But
And also we're avoiding spoilers.
Of Madness,
it's not changing the direction. It's not fixing the MCU.
no.
Yeah, because they're going to dive right into Captain America 4 starring the Falcon for some reason, and sequeling to Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I don't care. I don't care if this doesn't touch the MCU.
It doesn't need to. It
didn't need to. It was its own animal, and thank God for that. I think what we need from the MCU at this point is a lot of its own animal. I think just as I'm sitting there needing to piss through every freaking orifice, because I drank an entire freaking large peach tea. I'm sitting there going, God damn, Marvel has me trained. I will sit to the end. I have no idea what's coming up. And
but Eglantine, peach
but hold on, let me
DC
finish. They could train people back. It's time to disconnect. I'm sorry. It's time to let's let this character be that character and that character be this character, and stop crashing in things into each other. Oh wait, everybody's here now. Okay, cool. Let's get going.
I'll say, if you love the Fox Marvel properties, this is your love letter.
At the very least, it's a goodbye to them. I want to say, but go see it soon there, dude. We need to talk about that.
Really
but
fun.
Let's get this thing
Rob
going.
For those who want spoilers, Rob and I will be talking about it on Sunday.
All right, and let's see. Let's share this out. And
Party
once again, this is the Doctor Strange love covers. Only covers with Doctor Strange in love.
Oh,
all right. And that being said,
there aren't that many clear issues, though. How is that possible?
Yeah. Oh, wait a second. I cleared the other overlays. I forgot to put these in. So it's.
I don't see Slim Pickens riding an atomic bomb.
Yeah, well, get used to disappointment.
The governor of mystic farts, Doctor Strange.
Oh my gosh, we have a very full house. We have a very full house and Dalton.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I swear to God, if I have to leave on this stream, I'm going to be bad.
I might disappear part of the way through, so stick it out.
Okay.
He barely made it through the second reading.
This is cosmically bad timing, apparently.
What? No, it's awesome. It's awesome. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Giant size and annual. Okay, LK, lead us off.
Oh, me.
You're in the starter block.
Oh, Doctor Strange #1. Pretty good. Pretty good action cover. I don't recognize the artist name there in the corner. Overall solid for 1970s.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll start out with an 8.
Okay, we start off with an 8. Dalton.
I am going to give this a 7, I think, and that is just because this pose with Strange firing off bolts into the head of the Monster of the Week is a pose that they reuse a lot in this series, and it gets old quick.
Okay. Professor Pixel.
So is Doctor Strange in love with this weird orb thing? Is that what's happening? No.
That's
That's
why it's
the
strange love.
That's the manga version. That's the hentai. Lol.
So here's the thing. I think this is actually a really cool cover. The more I'm looking at it, with the skull within the crystal ball, and then not only are they tentacles coming out, they have hands and they're gripping. And I think this is a solid 8.
All right. And next up, Eric, you there?
Yes.
All righty. What do we say here?
Did I get skipped?
Yeah,
No.
because I was eating a cookie, so it was important that he went to me right as I'd put it in my mouth.
No, you didn't get skipped because we haven't made it to you yet. Eric was next in
I'm
line,
just curious which way you're going, off the screen or off the bottom of the screen.
off the bottom of the screen.
Oh, okay.
That's the way I always go.
That's the way.
I'm gonna give this a 9 because not only does it have, tentacles, Doctor Strange is zapping the Monster of the Week, and that never gets old.
All
There
right.
you go.
Okay, RDV.
This is an all hands on situation here. Honestly, this looks like a really awesome tattoo to have.
Yeah, it
Well,
does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Dude, this is a 10 for me. I like it.
All right. And Amy and Melissa?
I think this is really cool. The little monster designs. It's like a snake, but it's also a hand, and they managed to put a little eye on it. It's just a really cool monster design. So yeah, that's just. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of Doctor Strange stuff, but that's off to a good start for monster design. So I will give this a 9. Me too.
All right.
Yeah, this is a snake that can grab its food, but how does it eat?
I don't really know. I think its job's just to move things around. So
Maybe
it doesn't-
it's grabbing and pulling Doctor Strange into the orb. So I would assume that's how it eats that skull there. It just drags him right on in. That being said, the art around it, almost like runes, the yellow tentacles, almost like before it went after Doctor Strange, it took out Wonder Woman. And this is I like this. This is pretty cool. I'm thinking 8 as well. The only reason why I wouldn't go higher is because the beams are kind of blocking the hero on his first issue.
Yeah, you can't. It's obstructing the main character, which is a
All
bit
right,
of a
let's
problem.
All
Let's
right,
get to
Melissa. How about Melissa's turn? You skipped over.
No, I didn't. She said me too.
Mhm.
Amy said 9, and she said me too.
Yep.
In a Disguise says 8 already. And Eddie Rehem says 9 because Demon Villain, especially Capcom. Wait, what? I don't think this is that villain. But
No,
okay.
I don't believe it is Shimaggorath. I think if you put a gun to my head and ask me, I think that's supposed to be one of the Undying ones there,
Okay.
but I could be wrong.
One Slick says 9, well drawn, colors pop, and the picture frame background works well. Alrighty. And then we've got Maranya saying Doctor Strange #1, wonderfully illustrated cover. Color unifies the design. Strange looks badass with his use of magic by the Vishanti. I score this a mystic 10. And then Rhaegar gives this a 10. Well, all the covers are going to have a lot of color and action most of the time, says In a Disguise. Sometimes not so much. And sometimes that doesn't matter. Check out the Golden Age Superman show. 9 from Ethereal Dragon. And 10 from Summoner. There we go. We have Frank Brunner is the awesome cover artist, says Maranya. Okay, we got 9 from Glenzer. And there we go. Alrighty. And what we're looking at here, kids, we've got 1-7 taking out one of those 3 10s. But then we have 4 8s taking out the other 2, and then 2 of the 9s, which leaves 5 9s. And we start off Awesome. There we go. With number 1 going to Awesome. And now the birthday boy himself.
Yay.
All right.
Happy birthday.
Dalton, how old are you actually?
29. Yesterday
29.
was my 29th birthday.
That's right. You're in between my daughters.
Yeah.
As age.
He's 10
If
years
you were
younger
in
than me.
between my daughters physically, I would, 1, be very, very wondering why, and 2,
Yeah,
killing you.
there would be a lot of confusing questions that would need to be asked in such a
I thought you were gay, but now I have to end your life. That would be the conversation. All right. Okay, Dalton, this is the one you start us with. Issue number 2.
I like this one. I like this one a lot more than the previous cover, largely because Doctor Strange's face is not obscured. And it is a busy cover, but because of all the, mystical and cosmic things that Doctor Strange gets up to, having it be this busy sort of frippy thing is not a bad thing. Although his cape design in this particular cover does have him looking a little bit like Dracula here for some reason. So I think I'm going to go a 9 on this one.
Okay. Professor.
10. Look at it. It's so cool. You have Hulk, Namor, and the Silver Surfer going against this giant Doctor Strange. The Doctor Strange versus the Dynamic Defenders in a world he never made. This is excitement.
Yeah, I was gonna say, correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, but this is a Defenders tie-in, right?
No, they're there, but it's not tied to the Defenders title.
Even better. All
But
more excited.
I think it's one of the precursors to the Defenders getting their own book. I think.
Oh, the
Alrighty.
Defenders already had their book. Yeah, they were 20 cents when Defenders came out.
Well,
Okay.
Eric, what do you think of the cover?
This is a 10. I love the looming protagonist. Always a plus. Yeah, I like the added bonus of Namor, the Hulk, Silver Surfer. If there'd only been a way to put a couple of awesome Inhumans on the cover,
It almost
because
feels
they
like
totally don't suck.
It almost feels like a movie poster. Actually, it literally feels like an almost like Infinity War style movie poster thing.
Yeah.
All
Right,
right.
Pixel?
We got a 10 from him. RDV, what do you think?
Wow, he looks very manly in this. What happened to the rest of him in the other issues? At
Well,
least
in
it's
this
on
one,
covers.
he actually got training from the Inhumans.
That's why he's so awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great.
guys suck. Just like the Inhumans.
He's also Irish. He's the master of the arts.
He's the what?
He's
But,
The
no,
governor.
that's Dr. Druid you're thinking of. It's the Celtic one. But
All right.
pissed.
What would you grade this there, RDV?
I'd give this a 10, man. This is fantastic art. All that's missing is Moon Knight or Khonshu in the background.
Okay.
They don't
Melissa,
cross
Amy.
over as often as you would think they would, and it kind of annoys me actually.
Melissa and Amy, what do you think?
Oh, yeah. This is a really dramatic and exciting cover. I would totally give this a 10. Yeah.
Okay. And that's from both of you?
Mhm.
All righty. I'm looking at this. I'm thinking it's almost as if he's absorbing it and then channeling that moonlight through. I like the fact that all the lighting comes from him, not the moon in the background, which is cool enough. I'm thinking if you're going to do this kind of angle, though, get Gil Kane. That way, those nostrils are a full-on show of themselves. This is awesome. I like the detail in the castle as well that he's looming over. The fact that we're not looking at Doctor Strange all the way down. It's Doctor Strange, and then it's like a mountainside into a castle. There's just a lot going on here that you may not notice at first. It's really good stuff. Then add the Defenders. That's just extra. I'm agreeing. It's a 10. Let's go to the chat. And we've got 29 again. And then Glinzer is saying a 9 for the cover. We've got a happy belated birthday from Ethereal Dragon. Silver
Thank
Surfer, Hulk, and Namor, Ethereal. In disguise. Let's see. This one is Bigger Threat Taking Sears, says Eddie Redmond. We've got 9 from Ethereal and a 9 from In a Disguise. And Maranya is saying Doctor Strange #2. Strange looming over the Defenders. Curiosity about why sells this book, which is what a cover should do. Details, color, action, the flames of the Faultine. Scores this at 10. Alrighty, and then One Slick says 10. Glenn's are saying the Hulk looks too small. All right, and let's see. One Slick Dude says 9. Great action cover, but I don't care for the yellowish tunic on Strange. What I like, he doesn't. That's what makes the world go round.
It does have an almost Shazam quality to it. I can see why that would be a turnoff.
Alrighty, Eddie is giving it a 10 and LK a 9 because apparently I skipped over. Everybody gets skipped at least once, unless you're one skip dude, and then it's all day.
It's
Alright.
not just one skip. It's
Yes. Alrighty. Wow, guys, we have only got 10s and 9s this time around. But we have more 10s than 9s. We have 6 9s and 8 10s. So there we go.
So it goes in the top spot.
So we have our first 10 of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Zoink. Okay, and I do believe that leads us to Mr. Breen
Mr. Breen.
taking issue Professor Pixel taking issue 3.
Oh,
Mr. Pixel.
he's back from the dead. The dread Dormammu.
Daddy.
This is a 9.
Can you hear me?
It's very exciting. Yes, I like a lot about it, but there's something odd about Doctor Strange's pose in particular. His face, it's not clear enough, and it's kind of throwing me off for the rest of it. That, and I prefer a really big Dormammu. And he's just like normal sized.
Okay, so what would you end up rating this?
A 9.
A 9.
It's still awesome, but there's
Okay.
some problems.
Eric?
I think I'm going to have to go one higher and give this a 10. Menacing Dormammu. Defiant Doctor Strange. What are you expecting me to make some kind of sexist joke about Klee? What kind of person do you think I am?
A
It's a 10.
sexist, misogynist one?
Well, yeah, so I didn't need to.
There you go. Alrighty. Since we already know, the job is done. RDV, what do you say?
Well, they both pronounce the name wrong. It's Dormammu.
My bad.
And if that Dormammu isn't big enough for you, we can get a Lizzo size if you want that.
How many times must I kill you in one segment, Beckman?
Lizzo got embarrassed out of the popular culture. I think it's time we let her go. We don't need to bring her up.
Well, Dormammu's angry because of the fact that he's mad that Benjamin Franklin got a turn. Where's his turn with Clea?
This is before the Marvel premiere where that happens, though.
This actually Doctor Strange like 17 or 18 that happened.
All right.
This is a 10, dude. I love this.
All righty. And Melissa
Well,
Namey.
actually, Dalton on his birthday about Doctor Strange. Jeez, I should leave.
Melissa Namey.
Sorry, we are processing this new art before us.
Okay.
I do like this little girl character in the foreground. She's interesting. Her foot's a little turned the wrong way, but it's a cute outfit. It just doesn't strike me as strongly as the other two covers, either in the creativity of the character designs or in the use of color or the layout. But it's still a very good cover. So I think I would call it an 8.
All righty, Melissa.
I feel the same way, and I enjoy that the way that Doctor Strange's leg seems to be turned in a little
Oh,
bit.
ow!
I know it's physically impossible, but I still, yeah. I mean, he might need like what do you call it, like a splint and
It's called
an
a
ice pack
hospital.
after that. But I do kind of like how he gets the way he's kind of positioned his chest a little bit toward her.
Mhm.
It gives an energy kind of like a slightly protective
Mhm.
quality, which kind of adds to pathos of the cover.
His feet are pointed towards her, and his attack is pointed towards him. It is
Yeah.
a very dynamic pose. It just has some technical issues.
But I think I'll give it a 9 because I do I enjoy the emotional impact. I do understand that how the technical limitations could be a little distracting depending on your philosophy and how you process art.
And just a little info. The girl that's Clea that becomes Doctor Strange's wife, and that is also the daughter of the bad guy. On the cover.
Really?
Niece.
Dormammu,
Niece.
which if you want to make it funny,
Niece.
just
Niece.
niece. Oh, sorry, niece.
Umar's daughter.
Right. And if you want to make it funny, all you got to do in a Mork voice, just go Dormammu Mama. That's all you need for it to be funny. Okay, so okay.
I still get a pretty good chuckle out of it.
Mama.
I've come to
Yeah,
Mario.
I feel like I'm missing something here. I'm giving it a 7. Dormammu here just doesn't look menacing to me. To me, he almost looks like a joke. The just kind of the cartoonish nature of his head here. I've seen him look much more menacing. So
Okay. And Dalton?
I am going to have to agree with LK and give this a 7. I like the concept of this cover more than I like the actual execution of this cover because I like that it's trying to play for odd angles, but as a couple people have mentioned what exactly is going on with Doctor Strange, it almost looks to me like he's like leaning away from Dormammu, like cringing away from Dormammu, and that's never a good position to be in. And as Amy and Melissa pointed out, there are some technical issues there. Also, I just now noticed as LK was talking about Dormammu, he reminds me of an angry James Woods Hades from Hercules.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm looking.
And that's not good either. And also the title is way too small to actually grab the eye. So 7.
7. Okay, I think you guys are all being really nice. We've looked at a lot of covers, and I've never seen an entire cover look like it was an afterthought. You know what? Clea looks good in this. That's the best I can say. Everything else, it's just, I don't know. Dormammu doesn't look threatening. Doctor Strange is off. I think you're right. The chest is probably the best part about him. The face is horrible. The leg is in all sorts of different directions. It's just the colors are not popping. It just doesn't work for me. I'm giving this one a 6.
It looks like the male equivalent of the famous SJW complaint of where are her organs. That's what Doctor Strange is doing right now. Where are his organs? Right now?
Glinzer.
He's not connected anywhere.
It's more like he's cock blocking him.
Glinzer gives it a 10 and Rhaegar an 8. Alrighty, and an 8. And then we have a 9 from Ethereal. And One Slick says 10. This strange arch enemy, Dormammu rates tops. Okay. We have 10 from Summoner. And we have Into Disguise saying 8, only because background is bland. May it's supposed to be but too much blank space. Alrighty. And we have Eddie saying arch enemies 10 taking spiritual world dimensions. Alrighty. And let's see. Lizzo is more Mamu. More Mumu. More Moo. Yeah. Okay. I also speak like 4-year-old to Summoner. Okay. 8 for Black Spiders. And Yewi Almia. I don't know what that is. Doctor Strange number 3. All the elements fused together into an awesome battle cover, colors inking, poses background Dormammu, I come to bargain for a Mystic 10. And then we have there was original classic change like the redesign later in the future. And I give it a 10 once again, says Summoner.
So, someone
But I
said
only count one.
somebody said that there's too much blank space. Looks like they're in some kind of like netherworld, and they're on like a vine bridge.
Yeah, that's
That's
like I said. I like the concept of this cover because the concept is they're in the middle of the dark dimension, and Dormammu's warping things around him and so forth. But
All right.
Pulling that off can be hard.
Well, what we got here is a 6, taking away one of the 7 10s, but then we've got 2 7s and 4 8s taking care of all of them, leaving this to be a 9. All righty.
I get what I want.
Those can figure out his math gets a no prize.
Oh, I've explained the math very,
I
very
know.
simply. You just don't get it, but hey, that's okay. Some math is not meant to be gotten. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Now it's Eric's turn to take issue number 4.
You know what he's screaming right now.
Yes.
Then I don't need to do it. I'll just say this is a 10.
I disagree. It says right there, Doctor Strange meets death. So he's saying, hello.
Hello.
There you go. Like a fall. Hello. Anywho,
Dr.
what
Strange
do you think of this cover?
apparently doing a side hustle for Avon. Avon calling on death.
Yes. What do you think of this cover, Eric?
Well, I said it's a 10.
Okay.
I just love it. Falling into the gaping maw of death.
All righty.
And you can see a lot in Death's eyes, too.
Yeah, I know. It's some serious jaundice. RDV, what do you think?
It looks like a positive nightmare. But I do like that it's like the hippie like space, stars and shit, moon, planets behind it too. It's just like cosmic death. Yeah. As Evil Black Cat said, is said before, it's like, this cover makes me want to open up the book and read it. This is a 10 for me.
All right.
Frank Bruner might have taken a drug or two in his day.
Which ones? And did he combine them?
I'm sure he did.
Okay, so Melissa and Amy.
Well,
It certainly stands out. You know what? It doesn't look like an inside panel, right? It doesn't look like it's trying to communicate something or in the process of doing something. It's pretty eye-catching, and they put a lot of energy and details into like kind of the cosmic dots around the outside of it, the space things, and inside the skeleton monster's eyes and stuff like that. So it's certainly very interesting. Just for standing out, I think I'd probably, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want it on a t-shirt, but it is an exciting cover. So I guess I don't really see a lot wrong with it technically, and the colors are decent. I guess I'd have to give it a 10.
Okay. Melissa.
well, I mean, to me, it's, as I understand about the Doctor Strange, the kind of feel of the Doctor Strange series, it tends to lean toward the very surreal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, for me, this captures that surreal essence more powerfully than the others so far. Just endlessly falling into like that, and like it was like a skull with like stars in its eyes and stuff like that. So I feel like it captures that essence very well. It's very disturbing, but I understand that's the point. How's he going to come out with this one? So, but I don't know if you can get much more
It's
iconic.
Space Pirates.
Huh?
It's Space Pirate.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I think I don't know how much more you could want from a Doctor Strange cover. I mean, I'm sure. It's 10. Yeah.
So
Okey-dokey.
he's got
And-
stars in his eyes. He must be a jukebox hero.
There you go. LK.
Yeah, I look at this is probably my favorite cover of the ones so far. This would have made one of those great wraparound T-shirts back in the '90s, early 2000s. You remember those?
There were several of them actually. I think with this
Yeah.
cover on.
I'd
Yeah.
wear it.
So this is a 10.
Okay. And Dalton.
Yeah, I'm not breaking the streak of 10. This cover is an iconic cover to an iconic story. This is, unless I'm misremembering, Eric, please check me. This is the story where Doctor Strange essentially pulls a seventh seal and gets himself true immortality in the bargain. Because Silver Dagger ambushes him while he's meditating. Or is that a different issue?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure that was this. I'm pretty sure that was this book, but I could be wrong. But yeah, this is one of the most iconic covers for Doctor Strange in probably his entire publication history. There are better covers, but there are not many of them, so this is getting a 10 for me.
Alrighty, Professor Pixel.
It's Doctor Strange falling into a giant skull's open mouth with stars in the eye sockets. This is a 10. This is a 10. Like I can't conceive giving it a lower number.
So you're saying this is the Inhumans of covers?
Fuck you. That's what I'm doing.
Wow, that's harsh.
Alrighty. I'm agreeing with you guys. Yeah, it's purely awesome here. All right, going to the chat. We have Summoner giving it a 10. And then we have 10 from In a Disguise and Glenzer. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. Next up, a 10 from, 9 from Ethereal, and then a 10 from Dark Admiral. Okay. Let's see. Doctor Strange #4, another awesome Bruner cover, which is simple in design, but amazing in execution. Colors help the design. Score a deadly 10, says Maranya. Let's see. Black Spider says, I love skull covers, giving it a 10. 8 from Rhaegar. Okay. And then we have Dr. Destiny from DC Comics eating Doctor Strange from Marvel. Lewis is giving it a 9 for that. I like the
I will give you that. She does. Mr. Steph does look a little bit like Dr. Destiny in this cover. I will give you that.
Almost thought it was Ghost Rider, which might be something to consider sometime. And one slick dude saying 10, while this cover extremely well drawn, I still prefer the version of Death that Thanos met. And he gives it a 10.
This is her. She's just not depicted quite as femininely as she is.
This is one of those. This is one of those scores that are in the in kind of the middle, so you guys can help me decide. We do have 1 8 and 2 9s, but 14 10s. So
put it in the 10 category.
Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, just this time. All righty, here we go. We got our second 10 of the night, and that leads us to the Doctor himself taking issue #5.
Oh, you mean me? Okay. I thought there was another doctor in the house. Wow. Silver
We were told not to accept any substitutes. Hasn't that been your slogan all along?
Yes.
Mine was pay now. Clea in distress. Man, she just can't get off of her knees. None of these issues. Now I don't understand why Eric says to read these. This is gonna be about a 9.
All right. And Amy and Melissa.
The colors are nice and the pose is pretty good. I like this Doctor Strange here, the way that he's kind of appearing. It's kind of a cool transition with the way the cape's kind of swooped around to make it look like it's sort of unfold and he's kind of within it. That's just a really cool transition. Like I can see how this movement started and how it's going to finish just from this one still. So to me, that's just really great. Basically the posings are all pretty well balanced. The environment's well done and the colors are okay. It's not super exciting, but it tells a story, and I really do love that pose on Strange. So I'm gonna give this a 9.
Okie doke. And Melissa?
Let's see. I don't know. I mean, the kneeling in chains thing it's. I mean, I feel like that's a little awkward and kind of done a lot, but I still understand. You know, she's in peril, and I like the positive energy of Doctor Strange coming to the comic and coming to the rescue. It's like,
okay, this guy's gonna get yeeted.
It's like he's going to get yeeted. It's like, and of course it's effective. Like this guy's a jerk, and you watch a jerk, watch a jerk get what's coming to him.
Yeah, he's pulling right
You're
here.
going to like that a little. You're going to like that.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, yeah, I think I'll give it an N. The illustration is solid. Man, they had such good artists back then.
I know.
Yeah, it's like a 9.
Okie doke. And LK?
Well, I don't know why Doctor Strange has to break into their playroom and interrupt a good time, but I'm still gonna give it a 9.
Alrighty.
It just looks like
Dalton.
good
Go
clean
ahead.
fun between two consensual adults. So I don't know what the problem is.
Alrighty. LK has a basement filled with bodies. I'm gonna go off on it. Okay.
I mean, what
No.
else are you going to use the basement for, though? That's what it's there for, right? But okay.
Jars
but-
of jelly.
Okay. I have several thoughts here. One is this is probably the best image of Doctor Strange himself that we've gotten on any of these covers so far. It just in terms of the portrayal of him. That being said, I know it was the 70s, and I know damsel in distress tropes are a tale as old as time, but Clea is actually mystically more powerful than Strange, like just on general ability, so it is a little bit odd seeing her in such a submissive position. So yeah, I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna contribute to the sea of 9s. It gets a 9 because that really is my only complaint, is that Clea shouldn't be in such a submissive position, damsel in distress, 70s or not. Like
Maybe she's got a kink. Okay.
Who's this
yeah,
guy?
maybe LK is right. Maybe it's conceptual because that's the only reason why Clea should be indisposed in this way.
Do we know who this guy is? The bad guy here?
He's the Silver Dagger.
He's the Silver Dagger. Is he like this? We don't see him again, I guess, after Strange eats him out the window?
So
He's
Silver Dagger is a reoccurring minor Strange antagonist. His main claim to fame is in the previous book, I'm pretty sure, is the book where he actually ambushes Strange while he's meditating and catches him off guard.
Professor Pixel.
I'm actually going to go. No, 9 works. 9 works. Even with
All
the
right.
Silver
And,
Dagger,
Eric?
he speaks like this.
Okay, you asked why Doctor Strange had to interfere. Well, Grandpa forgot the safe word. And
Why do you keep screaming periwinkle at me?
yeah, this is just ridiculous having Clea in this submissive position. I mean,
Yeah.
she hasn't been on her knees on a cover in 2 issues.
Clearly, they just wanted to reuse the art, but
What
still.
do you score this?
9.
All right, we got a 9 again. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm not seeing it. I mean, I once again, Clea's the best thing on the cover. I like the way Doctor Strange looks. You're right; it's probably most heroic. I'm giving this one an 8. Going to the chat, we have Summoner giving it an 8, and so is Glinzer and Dark Admiral. All righty, 1, 2, and 3. We have a 7 from Ethereal Dragon. And MK saying, oh, by the way, I did get your 10 from the last cover. MK saying 9, cool cover. The chick is also rather interesting position, while Strange looks cool back there out of a portal. So he gives it a 9 as well. Rhaegar gives it an 8. Alrighty, and One Slick 9. Curious the Silver Dagger is holding the Eye of Agamotto. Oh, there you go. Yeah. 7 from Black Spiders. And Maranya is saying Doctor Strange 5, villain menacing Clea. Doctor Strange to the rescue. Bruner is a master of the mystic covers. Colors unify the cover, score it a mystical 10. Spiritual projects only stood out. Both Clea and Doctor Strange don't. Who third person is, however, it's a weaker one. I go 8, says Eddie. Alrighty, one. And 40 minutes later, yeah. Let's see. We have this is a 9. Who are we kidding? There's like 14 9s here. Actually, only 9. But wait a second. Okay, yeah, it ends up being that because we've got 2 7s and 1 10. So that cancels that out, and then you got 1 9 being taken away, and it's 8 to 6. So it still ends up being a 9. Okay. All righty. And let's see where we are. Here we go. All right. We put that in the 9 column, and Eric went that time. So, no, RDV went that time. And it is Amy and Melissa.
Oh, well, this is a really dynamic looking cover. Who's this?
Dr. Strange.
I will be back in a second. My screen froze.
Uh-oh. Good. Okay.
I think that's Umar. That's Clee's mother.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a really dramatic angle. The monsters are kind of interesting. I think it's got a good overall effect. If I'm just, knee-jerk reaction, I'd probably give this one a 9.
Okie dokies. Alrighty. And Melissa?
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, the kind of the eerie wind whispering ink effect is very pretty.
That is nice.
That's nice.
It's beautifully rendered. I guess
Yeah.
that's kind of what I like about it.
Okay. And what did you give it?
I think I'll give it an 8.
An 8. Alrighty. And LK?
Let's give this one a 9.
Okay, dokies. Professor Pixel?
See, that one bat thing would make me put this down if I didn't realize that, oh, that's not just a bat, that's a bat creature thing. So this is a 10. I really like it. It's really cool. She's standing there. What is it the kids say? Girl boss. That's what she looks like.
Yeah.
And then
I
Doctor
don't know.
Strange.
What do you say?
And Doctor Strange may have a bit of a Chad chin, but it's still great. 10.
Alrighty. Eric?
I think the highest I can go on this is a 9 because Doctor Strange kind of looks like one of those really odd Carmine Infantino poses. It doesn't quite work, but everything else is fantastic. But so I'll give it a 9.
Dalton, I should have hit you before Pixel, but there you go.
It's fine. I might have to be mean here and give it a 7 because Doctor Strange looks like he was added onto the cover as an afterthought, and because of the distance perspective, everything else on the cover is a little bit too small. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a 7.
Okay. And RDV?
Well, I was looking at it. I'm like, oh, it's some cool covers there. It looks like they got Muppet monsters there, and then they got some kind of mix between a hybrid of a Canadian moose and a bat.
Yep. And a bat.
And of course, hot girl, menacing guy, who's just like a doctor, and just this is an awesome cover. This is a Halloween cover. I love it. This is a 10.
Okay, I agree. I like the colors coming off there. The Beta Ray Bill bat that just looks awesome to me. I don't think that Doctor Strange looks bad, so I disagree with you guys on that. The colors pop, the wind effects, the fact that it looks like the wind's going out, but Otherwise, everything's going up as well. Yeah, this is a 10 for me.
He's
Let
getting
me
ready
go
to
to
grab her. He's like, hee.
Let me go to the chat. Rhaegar says 9. So does Ethereal Dragon. Alrighty, and let's see. Black Spider says 7.5, which is a 7. Then we go to 9. The face of the bat looks like a gargoyle, says one slick. Alrighty, and then we've got actual mythical elements. It's female this time, supernatural level 9 from Dark Admiral. Okie dokies. Only whole numbers, that's true. Doctor Strange number 6 says Maranya. Strange fighting Umar, demonic cover drawn so well by Brunner. Every bit of the cover utilized, including behind the trade dress. This is the Demon Summoning 10. And let's see, 9 from Glenzer and 9 from Eddie. Okay, do we have a MK coming in? You always round up from I always take the number. If they're really thinking 8, it would have been 8.5. Let's see, do we have an MK coming in? I don't know. I'll wait if he changes his score. What we have here is a two 7s and 1 8, taking away 3 of those sins. It ends up in the 9 columns because of all the other 9s, 7 9s, by the way. So let's take that and boom. There we go. And let's see. I believe RDV was the Melissa and Amy were that time. So I will take issue number 7. And oh, wow. Okay, so we still have Umar, and while it's a knocked out Doctor Strange, it looks like a reclining Doctor Strange. This looks the most relaxed Doctor Strange has been. It's not good, guys. The flames look fine. What the fuck is this? A whole bunch of little demon guys carrying them? It's this. It's not good to me. I'm getting nothing from this. This is a 5 for me. Alrighty, LK, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm there with you with the 5. I mean, I hate saying, it's a lazy cover, but just compared to what we've seen previously, it just feels lazy. It feels like it's a panel inside the book.
And you know what? Doctor Strange looks lazy too.
You know what this is? This is Doctor Strange after the "What are your intentions with my daughter, Stephen?" conversation. Because Umar.
Yep.
He met the mother-in-law. It did not go well.
Yeah. So what do you give this?
What do I? Yeah, I'm gonna be with you guys with the 5. I think it's not entirely lazy, but yeah, a lot of this just isn't working. It's washed out. The color just blends too much together. 5.
Yeah. Alrighty. Okay then. It is Professor Pixel.
I thought Doctor Strange was being painted like one of his French masters of the mystic arts. It laid out like that. This isn't great. I think it's a 5. It's meh.
Okay.
I don't think it's terrible. It doesn't look too terribly bad, like the art itself. So I think 5 is acceptable.
All right, Dalton, what was your number again?
Mine was 5 as well.
Okay. And Eric.
I'll go 7.
Okie dokie.
It isn't really particularly dynamic. I hate to say that about. It looks like someone inked the hell out of Gil Kane, but I believe that is a Kane cover.
Wow, it doesn't even look like it. I mean, okay, maybe a little bit with Umar, but yeah, it doesn't look like it. RDV, what do you say?
I'm gonna give it at least a 9. Yeah, Doctor Strange, he's getting old, so he just fell asleep, and then they're like, let's throw him off the cliff and be done with this comic book.
Yeah, 3 issues after he gets to immortality, he ages too old, apparently.
Right. All righty, Melissa and Amy, what do you say? What goes on with this one for you?
I mean, I get about how the overall layout is a little flat, and the colors really aren't doing a lot for me. But I do have to say, this recline on Doctor Strange is actually pretty well rendered. The gathering on the fabric's done nicely, and the poses on these little imp characters are actually well balanced, and their musculature is pretty good. So on a technical level, I'm kind of impressed with it, though I do see where it's not as dramatic or as interesting as far as a cover goes as the previous ones are. So I think overall, I would have to give it like a 7.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
A 7, and same from Melissa. Alrighty, and let's see, that is that. So we go to 4 through 6. Okay, so we go to the chat, and what we got is a 5 from Rhaegar and a 6 from Black Spider. All right. And then we have Eddie saying more like Goblin vibes. Glinzer gives it a 7. One Slick gives it a 7. The Demon Oompa Loompas don't work. All right, so we got 2 7s. 6 from Dark Admiral, a 5 from Ethereal. All right. And then we have a 9 from Summoner and a 6 from Eddie. Okay. Let's see. Doctor Strange number 7. Ironic that Gil Kane cover looks less, John Romita Sr. cover looks less than heroic. Details should have been larger, more focus on helpless Doctor Strange. Score a nose 8. See, I could score under a 10. All right. And cover art by John Romita, says LK. Okay, so let's put the stop in. I don't think we're going to have a 10 or a 9 on this one, guys. Because we've got 6 5s with 2 9s and then 1 8. And then we have 5 7s. So 2 of those 7s, 3 of those 7s come off to pull this up to the 6s. We have 3 and 2, so this ends up 6s. All right. Here it is. And so far, the lowest cover of the night. It drops 3 spots from the others. And let's see, it's the one I started this one, so we're going to go back to LK, and you start off. Oh, wait, before you start off issue number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Before we do that, Amy and Melissa.
Yeah.
What would be a title you would like to look covers for?
Ooh, comic book. Let's see. Can you think of any comic book series that would be good to do cover rankings for?
Or a comic book adjacent magazine that works.
Oh, what about the Tick?
I was thinking of the Tick.
The original 12, I'm assuming.
Yeah. There was never 13, was there?
No. Okay. Okay.
Let's see. I don't know. I've given a bunch of suggestions in the past. I'll pass and give it to somebody else this time.
Okay, Dalton.
How about Into the Living Mummy? Why not?
The Living Mummy.
Yep.
Okay, I'll find the first 12 covers involving him. Professor Pixel, is there something you would like to participate in?
I think what you said earlier sounds like a great idea, which is Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider. All right. Okay, who hasn't suggested something in a while that hasn't? RDV or Eric, I guess, right? One of you two, if y'all want to toss something in there. Or I'll take it, because I think I've got a good one. All righty.
How about we do mangas? Just kidding.
Or I'm going to put this one out here, because there is only 12 issues to it. But there we go, guys. We've got The Tick, The Living Mummy, Ghost Rider, and Young Indiana Jones. So there you go. All righty. And LK, you get us going on issue number 8. We have just crossed the halfway mark for this one.
Okay. Well, now this is a Gil Kane cover. Yeah, definitely. Sorry, get close here. More menacing Dormammu on this one. Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8.
All righty. We got an 8 from LK. Moving on, we've got Dalton.
I am going to give it a 7. It's just, as often happens with these distance covers, everything seems way too small, and even though obviously it's supposed to be interdimensional in the background, nothing in the background is really seeming interdimensional to me. Dormammu looks better than he did the last time he showed up, but only just. So,
All right. And let's see, we've got Professor Pixel. What do you say about this one?
Me, I think that this is cool. It is cool, but I think it's just good. I think it's a 7. Really, I like Dormammu better than the previous cover, but something about it's just not standing out like the rest. So yeah, 7. It's good, but it's not great.
Okay, so let's see. Just see if we've had one. Okay, next up is Eric.
This is a 10. Not only do you get the oversized Dormammu, Strange and Clear, looking good, and it's got not one, but 2 random Gil Kane deformed hands.
Those are bonuses, huh?
Those absolutely. They're worth 5 apiece. So it's probably.
All righty, RDV.
I'm liking this. You got Dormammu just popping off from behind, and then Clear's like, "Oh shit!" And then you got Dr. Stegron down there before he made his appearance in Spider-Man. And then you got some of the gargoyles from Greg Weisman show, and a random snake in there. It must be Loki. Wait, is that the guy from what was that movie with Howie Mandel and Fred Savage? Little Nightmares?
Little Monsters.
Little Monsters. That's what it
I
looks
mean,
like.
I don't know. I never saw something like that.
This is a 10.
All right.
I'm loving this.
Amy and Melissa, what do you say?
I like that Megan Stegosaurus Godzilla monster on the side. He looks cool. Let's see. This is exciting. He's guarding Chloe. But at least now I know she's at least standing. That's improvement. It's like she might be allowed as a huge mob of monsters. It doesn't hurt for him to take a point on that.
Maybe she's afraid her uncle's gonna tell and she'll get in trouble.
Maybe. It does get complicated when your uncle's involved. Huh.
What do you guys give it?
I think I'm gonna give it like an 8.
All righty. And Amy?
Oh, I mean, her leggings are cute. Everybody else really likes it. I guess I could give it a 7.
Okay.
No respect for the deformed.
That's what I'm going to give it. I think it's.
I think the hands are the best thing about it.
You know what I heard? Everybody wants some. I want some too.
There you go. I think it's a perfectly good cover. I don't think it's a great cover. I think Dormammu is the best thing on it. But yeah, that's just about all I can say positive. So let's see, 9 from Glenzer. All right, and then we get You're Killing Me. I was almost torn between Ghost Rider and the Mummy. Yeah, then toss out that young Indiana Jones. Hey, you got some love, right? I don't think it's winning though. I think Ghost Rider's going to win this one. Dark Admiral gives it a 9, and Rise My Demons Armies, Eddie gives it a 9 as well. So we have 2 9s coming there, and we have a 9 from Rhaegar. We have a 7 from Ethereal Dragon. Next up, we have an 8. Should have interdimensional background, not the flame, says One Slick. Okay, and Maranya saying Doctor Strange, number 8, looming Dormammu. Strange should be larger and focus more on him and 1 or 2 minions. Even with the flaws, this is a mystical 10.
Yeah, if the yellow had been filled in black and there were like stars and stuff in there, that probably would have tied in the it would have made the flat colors maybe make a little more sense.
There's a very famous blacklight poster that I think became the sort of standard for the Dark Dimension, but I think this was before that happened. So
Living Mummy
they were
comments
still
are hardest
playing with it.
to acquire, says Glenzer, and Black Spiders gives this a 5. Alrighty. And let's see. Once again, if you guys haven't voted, feel free to vote. Wow, only 8 people watching right now. Let's see. Let's let me get the stop. Boom, 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 boom. And I agree with Amy on that about the background, says Dark Admiral. Now, what we got here is, let's see. We have 1 5 and 2 10s. We take away one of those 10s, but then we skip that 6. We've got 5 7s, 3 9s, and 4 8s. This ends up being an 8. All right. Ta-da! Okay, and next up it is Dalton's shot, and he gets number 9.
Okay, this one is much better.
Yeah.
Butter.
Although I don't think it's quite perfect. I feel like some of the line work is missing, although that might just be the print or the screen grab. So I am going to give it a 9. I will be generous.
All righty, we got a 9 from Dalton. And how about from you, Professor Pixel?
10. This is epic. You have Giant Dormammu grabbing Doctor Strange, Clea holding on tight. Or, well, Doctor Strange actually holding.
All right.
But
And Eric.
Could have used some more deformed hands.
Yeah.
look at Doctor Strange's hand. It's deformed enough.
But yeah, Dormammu has massive pixel fingers on his left hand. So that alone, that's close enough to a deformed hand. So I'm giving this a 10.
Ironically, Doctor Strange is the one character where deformed hands would always make sense.
Yeah.
Because that is his thing, but they apparently didn't think of that.
RDV.
Well, it looks like he's holding him. He's got his pinky extended. It's kind of funny.
He's drinking the tea of Doctor Strange's soul, I guess.
There's 2.5 just deformed hands. Even Strange's hand is kind of deformed. And he probably
That's what it should
Clea, and he broke Clea's.
Yeah, that wrist is definitely shattered.
This is fun. It's like Dormammu's holding up the Strange, like, to be or not to be, to kill or not to kill.
Too strange or not too strange?
Strangle him.
Don't ask that question, Pixel. We all know there was that one time where Eternity went not strange, and then stupid happened.
This is a 9.
All right. That's a 9. Okie dokie. And Melissa and Amy.
Yeah, it's certainly a lot
More
better
exciting.
cover. It's dramatic. It's got the really large villain and a good focus on the hero and the damsel. So you kind of know where the attention's supposed to be. The drawing's fine with some technical issues, and the color's okay. But it is a dramatic and exciting layout, which I would have loved to have seen tightened up and done a little better. But it's still a really cool cover. So I'll give it a 9.
Okay. And Melissa was the same?
Yeah.
All righty. And that leads us to LK.
Yeah, it's better. I just don't know why the Sorcerer Supreme has to be rescued all the time. So I'll give it a 9.
All righty. And let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I I gotta go 7 on this one. I mean, everything is there, it just doesn't
Click.
gel
Yeah.
for me. Yeah, the best
I'm
thing I
actually
could
thinking about dropping mine to an 8. Yeah, that.
the best thing I could say is that Clea, kind of a full figure gal, ain't she? But there you go. Yeah, I'm going 7. All right, let's get to the chat. We have 9 from Glenzer and a 7 from Black Spiders. And then we have an 8 from Ethereal Dragon and a 9 from Dark Admiral, who says the rust-colored background throws it off a little for him. All right, we got an 8 and 9. And then let's see, 10 from Rhaegar. Next up, Doctor Strange number 9. Rendering reminds me of an animation cell, sort of. Still, the simple and effective design and color works. This earns a Dread 10. Don't be a stranger to the channel and work the Mystic Arts on that like button. Everybody, not the love button, because that's a different story. But the like button, yes. Just keep smashing that like button. Just keep hitting that love button. Like button. Yes. All righty. Please do that. Okay, and I apologize for doing that. So very improved. However, Clea is still getting dangerous. Was she planning to make partnership, not trying? I go a 7, says Eddie. All righty. And One Slick says 8. The reddish brown background color makes this interdimensional background too subdued. OBKBs. All righty. And what we got this time around? Did MK just disappear? We have 3 7s and 4 10s, so that leaves one of the 10s, two 8s, so we take that one of the 9s, and this ends up being a 9. All righty. Doctor Strange doing well tonight. All right, we are not disrespecting the Doctor Strange with Dalton here.
Yeah, it's a very good artist book because it's the book you go to when you want to draw insane stuff.
All right, that was Dalton. This time we have Professor Pixel.
Hello.
And you have issue number 10.
Eternity lives. I mean, facing Mordo. I like the battle pose. Their magic beams crossed, and then the figure of eternity in the background. I think this is a 10 too. Wow. Yes, it is.
Wow.
Okay, we got 10 from
Wow.
Pixel. Eric.
DHs, baby. DHs.
Okay.
Give it a 10.
What is DH?
Deformed hands.
Okay.
Yep. Arkham
All right.
Later.
Okay, so we got 2 10s. Do we get a third, or what do you say, RDV?
Well, I just gotta say, this is a 10. Rock on, bros.
All righty. Let's see, Melissa and Amy.
Yeah, I would give this a 10 too. It's a really good layout, and they did some interesting design stuff with the figure in the background, and very cool hand pose on Doctor Strange. Really, the wrist goes into the top of it, and the fingers kind of move up and create that arch, that deformed hand.
Okay. And
Same.
Melissa?
Oh yeah, it's really kind of a really exciting, unique use of the background. The wizard battle is engaging, and I feel the energy of it. And yeah, his legs look good. His legs, everyone's legs look good. It's a very good. It's a very good illustration.
That one little circle back there, and that wizard guy might be a Bucky's logo. You don't know.
Okay. All righty. And next up, we have LK.
Sorry. I'm going 9. I just don't like the way Mordo looks. Everything else is good though.
All right. And let's see, Dalton, you let us off, right? Or was it Pixel?
Pixel let us off.
Pixel,
I let
so
off
it's
the
okay.
last
It's your
one.
turn. Yeah, it's your turn.
I think I am also going to give this a 9, but my reasoning is slightly different. I always love whenever the Cosmic Entities show up, particularly Eternity. But as far as Eternity covers go, this is not one of his better showings. So for that reason, and for the reason of him being slightly too small, I am going to give it a 9.
I agree, by the way. I agree that this is not one of the better Eternity covers. However, Eternity is one of those beings that you put them on the cover and it bumps it up a point.
Yeah.
So
Instant
I'm
win.
starting at a 9. I'm going to a 10 because it's Eternity. Yeah, this is just a cool ass cover. And I agree. This isn't perfect. His leg, by the way, has an ass on it or 2 saggy boobs. I don't know what that is right above the E, but
His
yeah, it's kind
calves.
of weird. Otherwise, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, I'm still giving this a 10. Let me go to the chat and see what they think about it. We've got Glenzer giving it a 9, Rhaegar giving it a 10, and so does Dark Admiral, but another 9 from Ethereal. So it's 2 9s, 2 10s. Okay, and then One Slick says 9. Doctor Strange is now dealing with a pulled groin after that spread. Yeah, that's a big, yeah. Doctor Strange 10. Here we go with the black mystical background, along with just enough ground for the hero to fight with the villain on it. Corner box art integrated into the cover design, and is scored an eternal 10, says Maranya. Alrighty, Eddie's saying rival start, Warriors vibes. Is that Cosmic Eternity involved? Why background just blue, not purple instead? Give it a 9. And Rhaegar is coining the term butt calves. And there we go. Alrighty, so we've got 14. I'm sorry, we got 9 10s and 5 9s. So this ends up being our, I think it's 3rd 10 of the night.
I believe so.
There we go. Okie dokies, artichokes. Let's go forward here. That was Professor Pixel. Eric, you've got issue number 11.
I think I'm gonna keep the 10 train rolling. It's also, I said, this is, and I think Dalton will back me up. This may be the craziest story in the history of comics. This is right in the middle of. Never referenced again. I don't even think by Strange would be the only one that could, but
Nor should it be.
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of him being the only one that knows that the world ended.
All right.
I will wait for my turn.
Okay, RDV.
Well, when they start doing shadow play on the wall with the shadow puppets, it just went crazy. You could say they went mad. I like this. This is like the Doctor Strange, like 5, Fabulous 5. Like if they were a fighting force, the Strange Force.
Okay.
It's a 10 to me. I like it.
Alrighty. And Melissa and Amy.
Yeah. It's interesting. I feel like I don't know enough about Doctor Strange to tell exactly what's going on, but maybe that's okay too.
This cover to me kind of feels like, I saw some covers like in my early issues where it kind of feels like these were like things that kind of felt like they were ahead of their time. They're like these kind of prototypes that would eventually be emulated by future covers. This one has the opposite feeling for me. It feels almost like a throwback in the good way.
See that.
Yeah, but it captures it had the layout feels like something from like maybe the 40s or 50s.
The pirate one in the background really looks like a retro cover, but that's kind of awesome. I think I'll give it a 9.
Alrighty.
I'll give it a 9 too.
Okie dokie. Okay, and let's see, LK.
Yeah, I think, I'm in the 9 range as well. It's not quite a 10.
Okay. Dalton?
I will give it a 6.
Okay, why a 6?
A lot of this is going to sound weird, but it looks like someone gave all the wrong answers, but the end result ended up being semi-interesting. Much like the story this is a part of, and the version of Doctor Strange up in the corner there. I would rather not revisit this particular era of Doctor Strange, but it's interesting enough that it's not below like a 5, so 6.
All right.
It's better
And
than that.
Pixel.
Well, actually, I've never read this one, so I'm only going off of the cover here, but I do know that those are all versions of Strange himself, his past haunting him. I think that this is an 8. It's still very good, but I don't know. Something about it is just not pulling it to me, even with him facing the specters of his past.
Alrighty. And I'm wondering, when did Strange get into a bar fight? He's holding a broken bottle in the background.
Well, that was during his Burt Lancaster From Here to Eternity phase.
Oh, right.
Okay,
Some
that
periods
is a genuinely good joke, Eric. Well done.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think this is fine. Obviously, it needs you to know that basically you're looking at drunk Doctor Strange after he was a surgeon, got just messed up, turned into a drunk, then became the mystical the wizard that he is now, and then he put on the most awesome costumes of all time. Somebody said, "Yeah, but we want to see your face," and he had to return to what he is now. That being said, I think this is a good cover, not a great one. I'm giving it a 7. All right, let's go to the chat, and we see Glinzer giving it an 8, and Dark Admiral giving it an 8. All righty, and we've got let's see, are those variants? Yes, they are. Well, no, they're just of his past. They're not variants. Doctor Strange number 11, looming mental demons over the hero background integrates the figures into cohesive unit. What's happening? Curiosity sells the book. Score a great blue mask. Strange 10.
Oh dear, the blue mask.
It's
There
awesome.
might be a rant or two about the blue mask incoming,
The
folks.
versions of Strange you like and the ones you don't. Like the one in the front, the one on the right, but that one in the back is awesome. One slick dude gives it an 8. And Eddie says maybe Nightmare is involved. But Eddie did not give us. Oh, wait, here it comes. Rhaegar gives it a 7, and so does Eddie. All right, we get 2 more 7s, and Eddie is saying only original stories have highlights, and Ethereal Dragon gives it a 7 as well. All right. What were you saying, Amy? It sounded like you were about to say something.
I think I just yawned.
Oh, okay, that was what it was. All righty. Okay, let me, we're going to put that, but if you guys haven't scored and you're still going to want to score, the cover, by the way.
If we were scoring, we wouldn't be here.
That's true. Okay, so we had 1 6 taking away one of those 3 10s, and then we've got 4 7s removing the other 2 and 2 of the 3 9s. And then we've got 4 8s taking away that other one, leaving 3 8s left. And boom, we have an 8. All right.
Rhaegar, you are correct, sir, but we don't have time for me to explain all the various reasons why that is true.
And then we have, I do believe Eric took the last one, right? And so it is.
I didn't, but I don't
it
it's
was
not
me.
my turn.
It was Pixel, so Eric gets this next one. All right, issue number 12.
And
You want to give it a little thought, sir?
don't need to, but I think about how to get to this point here. That's good enough for me. That is just reduced to a skeleton. Hell, I need to know how that happened. So I'm opening the book. Of course, this scene probably isn't in the book, so I'll be ultimately disappointed. But then I'll just look at the cover some more.
All right. I got to admit, this was almost the thumbnail. I just didn't want to give it away. Okay, so we got a 10 from Eric RDV. What do you say?
That's me. We're waiting for my turn to score. No. Yeah. This beat Doomsday. I feel like I've heard that little subtitle thing throughout other Marvel stuff. But that being said, that is an awesome. That is. Yes. The only thing that's missing is an open casket. in the background or somewhere.
Okay.
Like, this is a 10.
All right. We get a 10 from RDV. And Amy and Melissa?
1.
What?
Oh dear, that's
You want to explain the 1?
It's horrible
Okay. Why is this horrible?
because it's yucky. If I saw this cover, I would not pick up the book. I would walk right past it.
All righty. Now, okay. On an artist perspective, this is a horrible cover.
You mean from how it's rendered?
Yeah.
The draping, I suppose, is okay. The colors are all right, and I guess the background textures are rendered fine. I don't consider it to be particularly creative or exceptionally well rendered or particularly challenging. Did you want me to do better? I could make it a 5.
Well, I'm always looking for honesty.
if
You don't-
one is your answer, then one is your answer. It's
One
fine.
is your answer, but I know you're an artist,
Right.
and I think 1 is more of an emotional response to it, which is fine. But I think as an artist, and mixing the artist and the emotion together brings you to a more honest 5 than an immediate emotional response of 1. If that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense. If you want to go with a 5, that's fine.
No, I want you to go where you feel and know to be, and if that's a 5, then that's the 5. If you still think it's a 1, you say 1, and I put 1 down. I actually already have.
Well, I guess
I honored your first. I'm just questioning if it sounded like a very emotional response. So
I
that's
guess I would ask it's like you're saying a 1. Why is it a 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I want to know.
Because absolutely, if I saw this book, I would not open it. But you know what? It's rendered well enough, and it isn't absolutely positively morally apprehensible. So you could put a 5 on it if you wanted.
Now I want to know, like I said, it's got to be really from your heart what you feel.
She's feeling a 1.
Well,
She's feeling a 1.
maybe 4.
Yeah, it
4,
seems
okay.
it seems like she's talking herself out of it for people pleasing reasons. More
I don't
than-
want that to happen. But there you go. All right. I will put that 1 down.
Just say that the 1, just to give it a 1 pixel finger and aim it at all of them.
There you go. How you feel?
Honestly, I respect the
Melissa?
1. It's.
Oh, I already had the 1 down. I did. I was just questioning because
Melissa, it's your turn.
Yeah, Melissa, what do you say?
You can read it.
I want to give it sort of a 7.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's it's depressing. I wouldn't pick it up, but I understand the reason for that kind of faith. I could see why someone else would. I'm just built differently, but I don't want to knock it down because I have a slightly different value system when it comes to comic cover
And
storytelling in general. I have a different philosophy, and I don't want to be mean about it.
Well, so sometimes these are clickbait covers. This is what could happen.
Of course.
Well, what has happened in the book at the time was the world is ended and everybody is dead. This is symbolizing that.
Yeah.
So that's you'd have had to have been reading the title to know that.
Right.
Okay. That being said, we're going to go to LK. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I like it. I think it's a little too wordy, but I'll give it an 8.
Okay. And we have Dalton next.
And oddly, I'm not the meanest one on this cover. I sort of like that. I give it a 6.
Okay.
Yes, I know it's going for the death scene, the death tableau, but keep in mind, I specialize in dark, mysterious, mystical, and macabre comics, and one of the cover series that I love the most is Tales from the Crypt. And even from the perspective of this is a death cover, it is a very, very plain death cover. So I give it a 6.
Okay. Professor Pixel.
I have to go with 10. It's a brutal cover, but you know that in the end, Doctor Strange will be okay. It's not the end of the series. So I know this is cool. This is like it leaves you with a dark feeling, but you want to pick it up. At least for me.
I gotta ask. Do you think this was made today? That the variants be other heroes dead?
Well, Deadpool certainly.
Don't
All right,
don't
Eric.
ruin a good series with variant covers, please.
Eric, what do you think?
Well, I let off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I was
okay.
gonna answer
So
okay
we're
real
back.
quick.
Okay, so let's see. I like this. I do. I just think it's very simple. It tells a story. It's it grabs. I like the shading. As you go down, you see the wind, almost an ethereal mist going through, and of course the deformed hand. I mean, look at the ring finger on that.
Hands, baby.
Yeah. Okay. I am going to say a 9 on this one. Okie dokie. And let's go to the chat. We've got an 11 out of 10, says Rhaegar, which is a 10. And then best cover of the night, Cleanser says 10. All righty. We have Jackson Rayker 10, Dark Admiral 10. All right. Boom finally takes risk. Ethereal Dragon says 7. All right. Marvel used If This Be Doomsday as much as Nuff said, says Jackson.
Yep.
Doctor Strange number 12 says Marani. How did Strange die? Curiosity sells the book. Simple and effective. Rendering and colors. Score Doomsday 10 only because I can't give this 100 or higher. All righty. So we got another 10. 9. If the head is a skull, the body should be more emaciated. It says One Slick. All right. That's a good point. Sometimes heroes take a fall, says Eddie. One Slick Dude, the body is more emaciated. The costume is huge on the body. This is Doctor Strange, played by Joe Biden. Let's see.
That exists somewhere in the universe now.
Rhaegar backs Amy up, saying, "Don't change your score." This cover is too metal for the girls. Nothing wrong with not liking it if it's not your taste, says Dark Admiral, and that's the whole point. Yeah, I was just wondering if, because she said, by the way, I question a lot of the ones and such, but I apologize if I came. I do value everybody's opinion.
Not at all.
But
I think that's actually the first one we've ever seen given on the show as well. So that's
Amy,
probably part of
at
it.
least tell me that it was a half a point for each deformed hand.
Well, I mean, really.
Exactly. But I know you look at things a lot with an artist's eye, and this, you said that angry, so I was like, wow, that came from an emotional thing, and that was something. Okay, so let's see. Go with 10 Dark Mythical Art Elements, actually strange title, Grieving for Growth. Okay, and Rhaegar, if this be Doomsday, my question is always, then what? All right, well, we have a 1, and of course we've got to do the 2, 3, 4, and 5 as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That leaves us with 4 10s. So that 6 takes away 1, the 7 takes away 1, the 8 takes, or the 7 takes away 2, and the 8 takes away 1, leaving the 9s. All righty. And we put this into the 9 category. Boom. Let's see. That goes to RDV. Next up, sir, you have giant size Doctor Strange number 1.
This Dream, this Doom, but no. Wait, there is a Doctor and there is a Doom.
Oh, well, there you go.
But it's not Dr. Doomensperts.
Well, he's not walking either. He's standing there.
No.
Wow.
Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom get their buddy movie elsewhere in Triumph and Torment. Probably the best standalone Doctor Strange story.
Clash of the Mystics. Honestly, for 50 cents, ain't a bad deal. A bad deal here. 68 pages, 50 cents.
Mhm.
68 pages a day is like $50.
I know, right?
Yeah, this is basically like just a bunch of the scary monsters, and then you just see Doctor Strange. He's like, dude, don't even bother me. I'm in my astral projection form. You can't harm me anyway. I'm liking this, and I didn't know there was a giant-sized Doctor Strange. You know what that means, Pixel? We're gonna spend an hour reading this.
They're just reprints from Strange Tales.
I know.
All right.
This is a 10. I like it.
Okay, it's a 10 from RDV. Melissa and Amy.
It's fine. I'm not a big fan of the thick line art, and the renders are a little minimal, which I guess I'm just spoiled to some of the other covers, which have been, more detailed. But the colors are nice enough, and the drawings are accurate. The draping isn't as good on the cape as some of the other ones, but it's certainly fine. 8, I guess.
All righty, Melissa.
I think I'm gonna see. I see what you mean about compared to some of the original Doctor Strange's. The intricacy isn't as impressive, but I would say I kind of like the positive energy. I kind of like it better. I like it best generally.
Oh yeah.
When like the hero looks like he's like
he's against a lot, but he's up to it. Mm-hmm.
He's in his element, about
So
to.
I'm gonna give it a 9. That's a hack. That's like I got this kind of awesome energy.
Okay, we got a 9 from Melissa, and 8 from Amy, and 10 from RDV. And then we're going to move on to LK.
If he had deformed hands, that would have bumped it up.
Yeah, I felt cheated.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
Hey, LK, what do you say today?
This one's not really doing it for me. It's very average. It's a 6.
Okay, a 6 from LK. And Pixel or Dalton.
yeah, I'm somewhere between where Amy was and where LK is, so I think I will split the difference and say 7. Given that this is a giant-sized book, you want something that is going to be more eye-catching than the usual Doctor Strange, and as Amy pointed out, the standard for Doctor Strange covers is very, very high, and this just ain't it. This just ain't it shit. So,
All right.
7.
Pixel.
I concur. It's a 7. I'm just not interested in any of the monsters look neat, but when it comes to them facing Doctor Strange, I just don't care. Just like Doctor Strange doesn't really care on the cover. He's like just standing there, arms crossed. Really?
Yeah, the Mo reaction is very much appropriate for this, I think.
Yeah.
It's just sort of, this is just another day in my life.
Eric, what do you say?
Well, I said I'm very disappointed in the lack of deformed hands.
Yeah.
That is troubling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give this a 7. I think I would have gone higher. The big monster's taking up half the cover. Looks like a dork. Just to be honest.
He looks a little bit like like one of the monster Muppets.
Yeah, if he'd been smaller and they'd put another more menacing one next to him, I might have gone 9, maybe even 10, because I like the rest of them, even though they kind of don't like. One of them didn't know the photo was being taken, so he's looking off into the distance.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah,
but yeah, so I said it's just I can't get past the it looks like Triton was beaten with an ugly stick.
And he doesn't even have a decently deformed hand.
Yeah, I know. It's the only hand I've got to choose from too. So I really
also the blue and the green are kind of blending too much. Again, you want more psychedelic colors for a Doctor Strange book.
RDV, what do you say, man?
I'll go back to what I started off with, saying 10.
Oh, yeah, you did start off with this one. Okay.
Womp.
My turn. All right.
Well,
I'll tell you what. You guys are saying deformed hands are missing. I'll tell you what's missing to make this perfect is the Mystery Machine and Scooby Doo.
It does a little bit, yeah.
Because
It does
that's what
have
I'm seeing
Scooby-Doo
here.
energy.
If you really don't believe me, look behind Doctor Strange and tell me that isn't a villain that appears in the opening of Scooby-Doo, the one with the hat and the red eyes.
There you go.
Yeah, this is like that part of the opening where it shows all the monsters and such. It's just the Super Friends version where they stay on the cover. This is a joke of a cover. I'm gonna agree with LK. It gets a no, I'm not. I'm gonna actually go one lower. This gets a 5 as well. This is
That's what does it for me. I love this cartoonish kind of art, though. You got Death down there laughing. This looks like the monsters you'd see when you read like those real Ghostbusters books they had for Scholastic.
I can see that.
So
all right.
They were kid friendly. They weren't
going to the chat. Summoner says 7, Glinzer says 9, and Summoner says 8. I'll tell you what, and then Dark Admiral says 10. I'll go 9, 8, and 10 there. Okay. 10, 9, 8. Alrighty, and then he finally started Heroics, his return. Let's see. One Slick says 8. While most of the monsters are drawn well, this is pretty plain cover. Okay, and Therial says 7. And we get Glinzer. Doctor Strange has a Doctor Doom pose on the cover. Monsters. Rhaegar says 8. All right. And Maranya says Doctor Strange Giant 1. Strange facing looming demonic critters in a heroic standoff pose. Colors and details unify the cover and sell the book, which cover should. Scored a gigantic 10. All righty. Jackson says 9. Strange almost has a right leg problem, much like Superman's left leg on the Kryptonite Nevermore cover. Oh, okay. That's a 9 from Jackson. 7 says Eddie. For now, looks impressive. However, feels all right, unfortunately. All right. And let's see. Of course, Monster of the Week. Of course, Monster of the Week. Large monster looks like Etrigan, says One Slick. Ghost 13. Says Eddie Remen. Let's see. All the monsters are sad from this terrible criticism. Deformed hands, floating heads. What else did you see at Breen's Place, E? I'm not safe. Have you ever seen that movie Quitters Inc? I found out Eric has a team just like that. I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to mention anything, or I get put in the electrical room. Okay, so here's what we got. We've got 1 5 and 3 10s. So that takes away 1. The 6 takes away 1. We've got 5 7s, taking away that last 10, the 3 9s, and 2 of those 8s. And that's where this ends up. It gets an 8 today. And the sisters, whoops, wrong one. The sisters will lead us off for the very last cover of the night. And that is Doctor Strange Annual number 1.
Oh, wow. This is exciting. What have we got here? All new Marvel Comics group. Okay, you might save your loved one from destruction, Doctor Strange, but prevent my planet's devouring you. But you cannot do both. Okay. Huh. So how would he get her out and still be devoured by a planet and be safe? Now this seems like exciting, right? Because here's your villain, and she's got a really great hand poses, right?
Yeah.
And the ray blast there, and the energies look really cool. The environment's neat. I like the colors. There's like peril, but he's clearly working towards something. And now you really feel like he's gonna work this out. So I like this one a lot. This seems a lot more exciting. Yeah, I will give this one a 10.
All righty. And Melissa.
Being trapped in a bubble is so much more interesting than being held in chains.
Yeah.
I like bubbles better than chains.
Yeah.
It's just a thing. I just realized that now.
Cute leggings.
Yes, those are cute leggings.
Okay, guys looking to date Melissa, now you know.
Wait, I gotta wear leggings like that?
Oh. They're pretty cute.
Put them on.
All righty. Bubbles, not chains. That's what she's saying. Okay, so anywho, what do you score this, Melissa?
Okay, I'm gonna give it like
That is pretty daring to have 2 shades of purple and a pink.
Yeah,
That's pretty bold.
that's brazen. Yeah, you gotta admire that kind of courage. You gotta be brave to be Doctor Doom's girlfriend. So you might as well wear 2 shades of purple and a shade of pink. It's like 10, yeah.
All right.
So I just gotta get those leggings and a bubble wand. All right.
Oh,
Okay, so
I was picturing the giant hamster balls they sometimes have on like what is it? The Japanese competition shows.
Yeah.
Okay, LK, what do you give this?
To wrap it up, I'll give this an 8.
All right. Dalton?
I give it a 9. I'm almost tempted to go up to a 10 because this does more to sell its story and tell you what's actually going on in the book
True.
than pretty much any cover we've gotten this whole night. Yeah, you know what? I'll upgrade to a 10 because the cover actually tells the story and tells the stakes of the book, assuming that that's actually what goes on in the book, and it's really good art. My only complaint really is that I wish there was more going on in the actual background and it wasn't just green. But I also like bubbles better than chains because sealing a sorceress as powerful as Clea in an energy bubble makes a lot more sense than just chaining her up. The only thing that might knock it down is that Doctor Strange, like, I know we're supposed to read exhaustion, but it kind of looks like he just is lounging as his apprentice and girlfriend, wife to be, is being bubbled, and presumably a thing is about to eat the planet. So that might be a little bit of a thing.
Alrighty, Professor.
You know what? I wish the background was a different color, but honestly, that's still not enough for me to make it any lower than a 10. It's a 10.
Okay, that's awesome. Eric.
I think I'm going to give this a 10 too. And you got not Umar, just someone that looks like her, shooting Doc's blocking the blast with one hand, and apparently blasting his nuts off with the other.
It's the planet that's trying to eat.
Yeah, it actually says, prevent my planet, planets devouring you. That's why he's down there. It's not that he's sitting; his legs are in the earth, and he's trying to blast himself out.
Not anymore, because he just is.
But yeah, he just blew him off. Yeah.
Maybe he likes seeing the girlfriend in a bubble. Maybe that's a kink they'll have later. Who knows?
Maybe that's it. Yep. RDV.
I like it how that girl is like, just like, I can't reach it, so I gotta go like this, and then the hands down.
The formed hands.
No, it's just like she doesn't know how to like just pull her hands out straight. She has to go really high and tippy toes, and then like I'm just waiting for the trip. Eventually, she trips and falls forward.
You have to grab as much magic as you can out of the air above you, but then you have to just kind of point it in one direction. So it works better the higher up your hands are.
There you go. All righty. What do you rate this, Doctor?
Well, I rank her outfit for Clea. I ranked it at a 10. This is more like an 8.
All righty. And I'm going to agree with you on that. I think this is an 8 cover. It does tell a story. It's I like actually Doctor Strange blowing up its nuts. I wish they would do that more. But no, it's an exciting cover. I just don't think it's a great cover. It just, I don't know, something about it just doesn't work for me.
Well, Eric says he's busting a nut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glenzer says 10, and Jackson says 8. Alrighty. And let's see. Clea's leggings have helped tonight's score. Bubbles and leggings, Dark Admiral says. Check. All right. One slick dude says, great action cover, but getting tiresome with Clea always being the victim, says one slick.
It would be cool to see her doing something dramatic on one of them, but they probably will at some point.
Yeah, especially given how powerful she actually is. It would be nice to see her more, but it was the 70s, and damsel in distress was a thing then.
But
at least in this one, she's in distress in an interesting way that actually furthers the plot rather than just being in
But-
distress because the
She's
writers say so.
before the series, did they say how they get definition of Claire how powerful she was?
They made it clear that she was Dormammu's niece very early on, so we knew she was at least half of the same species as Dormammu from a very early period.
Maranya says, Doctor Strange Annual number 1, Umar is mommy dearest by endangering her daughter. Strange tries to defend Clea by attacking Umar. Design and colors unify the cover and sells the book. Scored a king size 10.
You know what? That just recontextualized this cover for me, Maranya. This is Clea getting grounded because she was out with the boyfriend too much.
Yeah, I don't think that's Umar though. I've read this.
Pro-
story. I don't think it's her.
probably not, but for the sake of the memes, I'm going with it.
But now you have also with Clea. Remember at the time she was an apprentice. She wasn't. She had the power, but it hadn't been harnessed yet.
She was a lot like Wanda at that point, yeah.
All right, so Dark Admiral says 10. Ethereal says 8. Rhaegar says 9. Actually changed mine to a 10, he says. All righty. Non-jokingly, best cover of the night, says Rhaegar. 7. Feels like jealousy changed directions in tone, says Eddie. All right. And then, let's see, I'm okay with Clea being the victim given what happens with the comics and the IPs these days. It's refreshing seeing a man come to a woman's rescue. I know, it's almost like they're saying, oh, we're going to defeat that trope of a man coming, the damsel in distress. But they have destroyed it to the point there where the opposite is now the trope.
Where you literally can never have it happen ever. But also, Glenn's her Uncle Dormammu, not Papa Dormammu.
All righty. Oh, go ahead.
It would be nice to see one cover where the two of them are like fighting together. That would be neat, like showing like
This is a laser blast.
yeah.
I'm
where he
pretty
blasts
sure
them.
there is that somewhere in Doctor Strange's history.
Yeah, that does happen. Actually, I think shortly after these books is when they start when she takes on a more active role as his apprentice. You get more couples fights.
Yeah, and also you got to remember that at once upon a time, this was a hobby for boys. Boys fantasized about rescuing the damsel in distress. That's why that cover type was so prevalent. Up through probably it probably started dying out in the late 70s. But I said now this the comic book industry kicked the boys out, and now you see the reverse.
Also, something to keep in mind, for the first 5 or 10 issues of Clea's appearance, she was actually one of Dormammu's hench girls because he sent her to Earth to weaken Doctor Strange's resolve. So probably at least some of this damsel in distress stuff is coming in from their setting up the romance between the two of them, whereupon she will eventually become his apprentice and then his wife.
We did have 9 tens, but we've got 1 7, 5 8s, and 9 or 2 9s. So 1 by 1. This becomes our 4th 10.
Now I want Papa Dormammu's. Like, what kind of food is he selling? We got Papa John's, Papa Dormammu's.
It's got to be some kind of pita pocket, right?
It's not just the 1970s. If a woman is shown in danger, it evokes more of an emotional reaction than if a man, due to women able to have children, propagate species, so forth. So I agree with that. Now we see the reverse. Doctor Strange is wearing Clea's leggings.
Yeah, there's that.
All right. Okay, so let's we get there. You go, gang. This is where we stand. The lowest is the reclining. I forgot what number that was, but
Reclining. That's a great name.
7, I think.
Okay, so let's figure the rest out here. We'll start with LK. What is the best? What is the worst of the 8s?
Leave the order.
Okay, and let's go on to Dalton. What's the best and what's the worst of the 8s?
I'm fine with the order being as it is as well.
Okay, how about Pixel?
I
or Eric?
I'd say it's fine the way it is.
All right, it's getting to the point where one more vote. RDB.
Yeah, I like it the way it is.
Okay, then we'll start with the Lesters on the 9s. What is your favorite and least favorite? Obviously, both of you get your own choices.
Oh, sure. Let's see. I guess my favorite of these would probably be this one where Doctor Strange and the lady in the green dress and everything going around. That I think is probably.
And her worst one. I wonder what that is.
I don't.
So we just keep it there, Melissa.
Yeah, I think I'm okay. I mean,
Amy, I'm sorry.
If everyone else kind of wants to vote it, I'm not going to take it personally. But it's the same option.
I do like that. Doctor Strange, where this cape is swirled around him and he's coming in out of the light like that. That's a pretty cool cover too.
Okay, I think I'll make that my favorite, and then like the least favorite skull one. Yeah.
Okay, and Amy, to count your one is the worst.
Yeah, that would be my least favorite of the awesomes. Yes.
Okay, so we'll move back to LK, best and worst. Oh wait, I haven't gone yet, and I like the one we've got in front there, so I'm giving a second vote to that. And the worst one to me, goodness, out of these are good covers, but I really did not like the Dormammu. This one was not good to me. Okay, so LK, best and worst of the 9s.
Best of the 9, probably go with the third one. There is the best one.
It's your number 1. Okay.
Yeah. And then the worst would be the 5th one there. The Dormammu that looks like
okay.
Disney.
Now both of these two issues have 2 votes for the worst. All right, let's go with Dalton. What do you think? The 9s, the favorite and least favorite.
My favorite of the 9s is probably the one with Doctor Strange appearing out of nowhere. Okay. And my least favorite of the 9s is probably going to be the one where Dormammu is in the distance and Doctor Strange's biology has been nerfed all to hell.
That now has 3 votes, so it goes below the death one. That leads to Pixel, best and worst.
He needs to wake up first. He's sleeping.
Okay. No worries. Let's go to Venkman then.
My favorite is the skeleton.
All righty.
My least favorite is it's gotta be the one where he's basically charging up like Goku, getting ready to attack.
This is your favorite?
No, my or yours weren't favorites.
Silver Dagger, basically, right? Okay, so that's a third.
No, I was confused. I started running off my worst, but because my favorite was the skeleton one. My worst is the other one. Is the one that's on the bottom where it is. You can leave the worst where it is.
Okay, the favorite is the so there we go. All right. Eric.
My favorite is the skull. And my least favorite is the one that's been there all day now.
All righty. That one climbed up a little bit with some favorites. So it went from worst all the way. And this is what we've got. The one voted favorite the most was here. Let's move on. And let's see. Eric went last. Well, you know what? We'll start over at the very beginning because I kind of screwed up the count. LK, best and worst of the top of 10s.
Oh, let's see. Best would be Strange falling into Death's mouth there.
Okay. So before we move on, let me do this because I never do this before, and I think I've never liked that. So far, what we've got is not Dormammu, Southwest Eggroll. Let's see if anybody's on. Dormammu hand is at least last. Okay, I personally like Strange shooting the snake cover. Second position currently is the best, but my vote never counts in this. Yeah, if it's just easier to do the panel. But actually, yeah, if you guys think so, if you guys pick the best and worst, we'll start that on the next one, where the channel picks the best and worst, and we'll include it in. Now, third position, if this be Doomsday, then it must be time for another cover ranking, says Jackson. He would not eat them in a bubble. He would not eat them in leggings. Dormammu does not like green leggings and ham. All right, yeah. And Eddie is saying we're picking the best of the best. And right now, LK says the best is the death.
Yeah,
Did I hear that right?
That would be the best. Yeah.
All right. And what's the worst of the best?
Where it is, the one.
Okay.
Where it's at right now.
There's a guy who's been with us forever and a day, and his birthday was Dalton.
I agree with LK. I think the best of the bunch that we've done today is the death cover.
What is the worst?
Yeah, I'm gonna also agree. It's fine the way it is.
All righty. And Pixel's not there. Eric.
Leave it the way it is.
All righty. And RDV.
Leave it the way it is.
Okay. Amy and Melissa. Except for, I'm not going to ask you what the best and the worst is. I'm going to ask you the two in the middle. What's the favorite and least favorite of the two in the middle? Because we already have solid votes. Those two are going to be the worst and the best.
Two in the middle? I see. For me personally, probably the one on. Can I get a little closer look at the one where the glowing, where his symbol's glowing?
Where his symbol is glowing? Yeah, give me just.
Never mind. Okay. I didn't.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, it's this one right here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that one's my favorite of the two.
Okay, Amy.
Yeah, of the two, that one's better. I really think that the
Eternity one?
the last one was better than the one that's in third. But
Yeah, this is Eternity. The Eternity.
yeah. But
All right, and there you go.
That's Eternity. That's Silver Surfer.
And there you go. We have our 14, our top 14. And I went 14 because, well, there was a giant size and an annual at the same time. So number 14 is the reclining Doctor Strange. Number 13 is the casual Scooby-Doo Strange. The Stranges of Strange Past is number 12. Number 11 is the Gil Kane Weird Hands Dormammu attack. Number 10 is the weird messed up leg Clea looking awesome and Dormammu just losing his shit. Number 10 is Dormammu grabbing on to Doctor Strange as Clea, full figure Clea is holding on for dear life. The first issue is number 9, I believe I'm on, right? Number 8 is If This Be Doomsday Skeleton Doctor Strange. The pop out of nowhere is Doctor Strange's issue number 7. Number 6, oh wait, I am way off. That's number 6. 5 is Vampire Lady versus Doctor Strange. 4 is the giant size or the annual number 1. 3 is issue number 10 with Eternity. 2 is issue number 2. And number 1, Doctor Strange falling into the paw of death. Dun, dun, dun. And there we go, gang. The Doctor Strange 1 through 12 from the Englehart run. There you go.
It doesn't surprise me what the top one was, given what we had on offer tonight. Honestly, that cover is one of the probably top 20 Doctor Strange covers of all time. I don't know where it places in the top 20 of Doctor Strange all time, but I know it's in the top 20 of Doctor Strange covers all time.
If you haven't voted, vote now. All right, I don't think it'll change much because there is not a small gap between the first and second place.
And if you haven't slept, sleep now.
Yes, there you go. Yes. All righty. That being said, but yeah, if you for once I agree with how the panel voted for the top 4 covers, says Maranya. Okay, and try to remind me to go to the chat so we include them. Also, and it'll be a test, and I want to do it on something where we're strictly doing 12 covers, because one of the reasons I stick to the panel for this is just to keep the time down a little bit.
Right.
That being said, let's go to the poll, and I'll end that. And last, did we get any after the initial 19? Because we had 19 votes. Nope, 19 votes. Thank you very much for everybody who participated. Young Indiana Jones, my suggestion, got 10% of the vote. Amy and Melissa, who got the last one, I think, where it's Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane, only got 21% this time with the tick. Living Mummy, which I thought was brilliant, that was Pixel's choice, got 26. But Ghost Rider, which I believe, no, that was, of whom was that, by the way?
I believe that was, I believe that was Pixel's suggestion.
Yeah, you were Living Mummy.
Yeah, my suggestion was Living Mummy, and then a man after my own heart in the comments said, "You're making me choose between my children here," which is fine.
You know, you should do. You should just put us all behind the stage. I'll have him as the main screen and just let him sleep the whole entire time. That's just his stream. So when he wakes up, he's like, "Oh crap!"
It's been a while since someone fell asleep on stream. I think.
He does in our readings all time.
Yeah, Pixel did
I think it was Mr. E who famously last fell asleep on our live stream.
Yeah, but it begs the question: is Pixel living 2 days behind us or 5 days ahead of us?
I don't know. I mean, he still thinks it's Wednesday night.
That's why I did the math.
Okay. And by the way, this vote also finishes out season 3. Now, we never did the season 2 bracket list, but we will do the season 3 bracket list. This is episode 16. Now, the reason being is because I commandeered episode number 14. Episode number 14 of this season is our 50th episode. So I decided that will be 50th issues. So I'm looking through, I'm trying to find the best 50th issue, and we're going to score them. I'm wondering, though, should I include Archie since we
it doesn't matter because it's a race for place.
Okay.
Not that. I mean, I can't. I'd be stunned if anything beats Amazing Spider-Man 50.
Well, that's one of the things I'm wondering about. Should I include 50th issues that we've already looked at? Or should I try? So I don't know if I'm going to include these. Yeah.
Honestly, I would, because it's also an anniversary season or an anniversary episode for this show. So, like most anniversary episodes, make it a clip show.
Yeah. Eddie says I did vote Indiana Jones. So did I.
I voted Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Did you just say Raykirk?
Right.
I think
on that. Did you guys say Raykirk?
No, his name's Raykirk, right? Isn't that
yeah. They would never dead name him.
I think on this
Raykirk.
I think on this particular poll there were no wrong answers because every single option was pretty good.
We get the good version. We get the Raykirk on ours. You get the parallel version here, Raykirk.
I get the Raykirk. I voted for the Tick because, to be honest, none of the other options interest me at all. I get that, but you know what? I'm finding I can do anything. I'm okay with let's just look at the covers. I'm good. I'm good to go on. On the count of 3, everybody scream 1, 2. Wait, no, I've got sleeping wife and kids, and I ain't waking them up.
You don't have to scream. Well, us for
Jackson.
No,
I hear it all the time now.
Because he'll have to mute the volume or something in order to prevent waking up.
No, if I screamed, I'm waking up my wife when she's got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
I am not going to have that argument.
No. Live to be married another day, sir. That is the correct answer.
if you guys haven't seen the unboxing, we did an amazing unboxing today.
Oh yeah.
And tomorrow is the auction. And if you look back here, there are I've got 4 boxes worth of trade paperbacks that are going to be in the auction tomorrow.
Oh,
All
nice.
sorts of great stuff. I'm going to put those in first and add comics as I can. I will have comics I ordered, plus at the very least, I'm going to put in the Dell comics from the haul. I got it. Thank you very much to Eric. Early birthday present. Thank you, sir.
Was it a slipcase? Oh.
But yeah.
Sunday, correct? Sunday is your birthday?
Monday is
18th?
my birthday.
Okay,
The 20th.
Birthday.
Yeah. So all these are going to be in, as well as a whole bunch of trades, and I do recommend you look at the unboxing to get a good idea of what's going to be in there. And there's just some great stuff here, so a lot of fun. I will be taking the opportunity to read some Spin and Marty. This is a show that was on the Mickey Mouse Club, the original one. And I was a big Mickey Mouse Club fan, not just of the 1970 ones when I was a kid, but the 1950 ones. Yes, but we have some Walt Disney comics and stories, and a lot of great stuff. It's going to be a great auction. So join us tomorrow at 8, and on Sunday at 10:30, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be doing Vampirella.
Ooh.
The Vampirella magazine has some awesome covers that may skirt a little bit of decency. Okay, this brings up something.
Like
What do you guys think of? What do you guys think of things like what's that called? The Living Doll, or what's her name? Vamp Blade.
I don't know that one.
Zombie Tramp.
Don't know it.
Pix was bored by it. Obviously.
The exploitation covers, you mean? Like the cheesecake covers?
I have no interest in doing those.
Okay.
All the Action Lab books.
Yeah.
I mean, the covers aren't that dynamic.
Okay.
They're not worth doing. They're not worth doing.
Let me rephrase the question. And I'm not saying, look, we've got a shit ton. I mean, there is an infinite amount of shows we can do here. So we may never get to this kind of thing. But when I was looking at Vampirella, now Vampirella is, it's got some Frazettas. It's got a lot of stuff. Vampirella herself is a very scantily clad character, which made me wonder about the morality of other things like tarot or Vamp Blade or the
Symbols in time, that sort of thing.
basically stuff like that. And is there, and I'm asking the chat, I'm asking the ladies, is there a moral adverse reaction to doing something like that?
Well, oh my goodness.
No wrong answer. I am legitimately asking because I never
would
do something that offends.
I mean, it's okay if you want to sit some stuff out too, as well.
Of course. But the thing is like, what happens when we do? What happens if we do Deja Thoris, which is it's a what you call it, Conan? What's his name?
Conan.
Edward Rice Burroughs.
Mars is the book. But
yeah. But the thing is, it's a comic book, and Deja Thoris does not wear a lot of clothing. It's a benign book, but the covers have Deja Thoris.
Yeah, because in the
don't worry, they're naked.
If you do those, we'd only really be able to do maybe like issues 1 through 3, because if you did every single variant cover.
Well, yeah, I like to do the trade dress. I like, unless we specifically do variant issues and all that kind of stuff, I'm always going to pick the trade dress issues. Yeah. Well, I have to wait until my birthday in August just to see the Iron Man cover ranking show. Just curious. You know what, Maranya? What date? I will schedule it.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, it's
serious.
And don't forget,
It'll
August
be part of
is far
season
away,
4.
So
And then
Yeah,
he'll
that's
ask
not-
LK and I to host it because he's not busy.
Maranya is another Leo. That I did not see coming. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's 3 of us. There's me,
Well,
there's
no-
Anglitine, and now Maranya, I guess.
Leo ends very early in August.
You also
Yeah.
realize that she was a Donatello.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't
right.
it like August 23rd? I thought it was like August 23rd.
Well, that's right.
that
No,
Leo
it's the same as Jack Kirby's.
Yeah.
Yeah, 28th. There you go. But yeah, that's one thing. That is one
So
thing.
Virgo, Maranya.
Yeah. I'll count it out and I'll make sure that we're doing Iron Man.
that is
Okay.
perfect for her.
But
Right?
yeah,
Anthony Blake in there.
Yep.
yes.
Anthony Edward Blake.
Anthony Edward Blake. What in the
There you
world?
go.
Yeah, owner
But
of
yeah,
Blake Industries.
we have got so many. I was actually thinking about this.
Mhm.
We have so many titles we've yet to touch.
Right.
When do we start doubling back to go over? Like we do 1 through 12. When do we do 13 through 24? You know, it's
I put that up to the audience. If the audience wants us to revisit something soon after doing it, then the audience gets it. If they don't want us to revisit, then that is their prerogative. Although
Personally-
I would note maybe save doubling back to some of the horror books for October because it's October.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because the last time when we did go on ahead, LK. I'm sorry.
what? No, I didn't say anything.
That was Melissa
Who was
Amy.
talking?
That was me. I'm sorry. I said you could like save the romance books for Valentine's Day. I was just
There you
continuing
go.
the idea.
I know
Yeah.
every day is young romance.
You know
So
what?
does that mean we have a bunch of drunkard covers for March because St. Patrick's Day? But
Yeah. By the way, sometimes the important questions of life pop up, and I think they should be answered. Eddie is asking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Oh,
and I am actually reading the Turtles right now. By the way, I just hand signaled to my shelf over here, but yeah, which I have incorporated those.
Evil Incorporated.
I've incorporated both the Marvel Essentials and the Showcase into it, and those boxes are now all filled as well. But yeah, it's awesome.
Which turtle books you thinking, Eddie?
Oh, we would do 1 through 12.
Actually, all right.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh, it would be 1 through 12 and the Raphael special that introduces because I think they were all around the same time. Yeah, that introduces the goodness gracious hockey mask guy.
Casey Jones.
Casey Jones, thank you. All right.
Maranya has a good point. Green characters for St. Patrick's Day.
Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Green what is this? Green Llama? Yeah.
Turtles?
Green Hornets.
Turtles.
There are a lot of green characters.
Manhunter.
Martian.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to add this to one of the things that you can commission over at the what you call it is that you can, instead of voting, if you can commission a cover thing. I'll put that up as one of the choices on Ko-Fi.
Tim Sheridan, Green Lantern.
And you know what? I was wondering what to do because I stopped buying stuff to give away at the auction. I'll tell you what. Once a month, if you are a member, you get to tell us what to do on one of we'll give you that. So there you go.
Be fun.
That would be on the $5 or higher. But there you go. We'll do that with $5 membership. You get to tell us once a month. You get to pick the without voting. You get to tell us what to do. I will not get my channel shut down, though. So like Penthouse Comics, Cherry Pop Tart, God bless you for liking them. I've read them myself, but I wouldn't do anything like that.
I don't believe we have done any Hulks yet, Maranya. That would be a good one to do for March.
Yeah, if
You
not,
could
J
add
Jaws would be perfect. Yeah. LK, if you're still awake, look it up. What are we looking up? The anime is called Rooster Fighter. All right. That being said, kids, thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to stop by the auction tomorrow. Some really cool things. Really cool. Check out that unboxing. We've got some great stuff. And once again on Sunday, show up at 10:30 for the Vampirella cover rankings. And thank you very much. Don't forget to go over, click like, share, subscribe, share. And Sonny, but mostly share. So we get a bit more larger audience. We had a smaller audience tonight. I noticed a couple of the usuals were not here today, but as always, thank you very much for hanging out. And thank you very, very much for watching. What were you about to say?
I know you always want to rank covers, but you could always rank the Hostess fruit pie ads.
Don't get any ideas.
At one point, we probably on April Fool's Day. That's what we should do. But
I would rather invite you guys over to do another reading. We'll each pick with this panel, a panel this size. Everyone picks one they want to do. And I would invite everybody over to do a reading.
You literally could call that ranking. This ranking is a big delight.
No, you know we need to do on April 1st? Back covers.
Amazing Man?
Wait,
No,
Ian, wait. So he invites us on April 1st, and you just don't show up.
That's it. Never mind.
No, what was your thing there, Eric?
I said back covers.
Back covers.
Oh, I love it.
I like that. No, I like that idea. The back covers, because you have like all the ads. You have the grit ad where you're selling stuff. You have Got Milk. That was a big thing for a while. No, I think you're onto something here. Son.
Yeah, that would actually be fun to do. I think.
Yeah, I think you're onto something.
Though I think the ads does have the same flavor, especially Hostess fruit pie. I'm upset that they don't do those anymore. Actually,
Totally, right?
All right, kids. This is going to be an hour goodbye. I could tell. So once again, thank you for hanging out with us, and as always, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night.
Good night, kids.
Cheers, guys.
Everybody.
Night, everyone.